All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of That's Bingo Sports Podcast. My name is Joe Hendry, joined by my co-hosts Jacob Beach and Kyle Eggers. Gentlemen, how are we today?
I'm fantastic.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I
Happy to
love
be
that.
here.
I was at the same time. Let's
We
go.
are fantastic.
This is correct. We're collectively him, as
Correct.
you like to say, Kyle.
Correct.
Dude, I saw something on Instagram today that said that Will Levis is now set to be the oldest starting quarterback in the AFC South right now.
This is why you got to get off Instagram or just
That's
25.
embarrassing.
go outside, dude.
That's some
Go look at the sun.
That is wild, but he's going to be 25 and the oldest one in that division. So just thought
Who
that
else
was
is in
fun
that
fact to throw
division?
out there.
Forgive my casualness. Who else is in that division?
Trevor Lawrence is 24. Richardson and Stroud are both 22, I believe.
Wow, Trevor Lawrence is 24.
Yeah, he came into the league pretty young.
I didn't know that.
He's probably
crazy.
I bet he's turning 25 during the year or something like that. But because he'll be going into his fourth year? Yeah, fourth year.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're pretty pumped for our show today. We've had a week to think about our team's drafts, to go through all the highs and lows of the emotions there. We'll give a little update on the NBA playoffs, and also we'll be drafting.
Yes, we will.
We'll be drafting our favorite sports movies of all time. So we'll get to that in a little bit. It'll be a nice snake draft. We'll see who comes away with the best squad of sports movies. So that should be a lot of fun. But are you fellas ready to dive in today?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's
get
go. Well, let's start with the NBA playoffs. And I remember last podcast we started with ripping the Band-Aid off in the Phoenix Suns. Beach, we don't want to spend too much time on this, but let's just hear your final thoughts on the Suns being swept by what seems to be top 5 player Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, in some people's minds, he's top 5 of all time now. Yeah, the
Sound
Suns
a little
are just
bitter
not
there,
the better.
buddy.
Suns just weren't the better team. They had 6 shooting guards on the roster, which created a problem. I don't know really where they turn to upgrade their team from here. But they are going to be tasked with trying to upgrade a roster while being stuck under the second apron tax level, which is going to be pretty much impossible. So I think we're probably looking at Frank Vogel getting fired and then just minor upgrades around the roster, because that seems to be the only way they're going to be able to improve. So it'll be an interesting offseason, I will say that. I'm looking forward to that, but it was almost a relief that the season ended on Sunday night.
Yeah. And you were there.
I was there cheering like a deranged idiot. But yeah, no, it was
We golfed that day, Beach.
We did golf that day. My
What'd you
golf
guys shoot?
game, I shot like a 93.
You shot well. Dude,
All right,
Beach.
all right.
No, I think you shot a 92 because I shot a 93.
No, whatever it was.
He beat me by a
it
stroke.
could have been. Yeah, Kyle choked on the last hole.
Pause.
I
After choked
tripled
on
the last
previous
hole. Yeah, I thought I was already counting my money, but unfortunately,
And then he had to give it right
yeah,
back. And then
I
I
sure
had to give
did.
it right back to him because he paid for the course fee. So
I sure did.
Yeah. Well, rough ending to the Suns there. But the Nuggets will face the Timberwolves in round 2. Jamal Murray is fantastic. I don't believe in the it factor until I watch Jamal Murray play playoff basketball. And then I think that the it factor is real. And I think he has
Got that aura.
The Thunder sweep the Pelicans, the Mavs and Clippers. Dallas handed it to the Clips last night. That's an interesting series, so I have no idea who's going to take that one home.
can we talk about that real quick?
Let's do it.
This is, I think, the 5th year in a row of the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard experiment in Los Angeles, and it is once again, Kawhi Leonard is missing in action in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Are we surprised?
No, we are not surprised. But that's just one of those things with that team. Like, you can't have Kawhi Leonard, I don't think, be the focal point of a championship team anymore because his body just can't withstand the 82-game marathon into the playoffs. Like, he's not built for that. And he had a really good season in terms of health. Like, he had stayed healthy for a majority of the season, and then all of a sudden his knee just flamed up, and it was over, basically. So yeah. I think the Clippers are going to be in a spot where they look to move on, and they're going to be in an interesting spot because Kawhi Leonard still owed like $180 million over the next 3 years. So what are you going to do with him?
You should give him to the Suns for Bradley Beal.
Imagine.
That'd be, I don't know what that would do, but
How do you
that'd be
even feel
something.
about
I
that,
don't either.
Beach?
I mean,
Would you feel good about
I
that?
you'd feel
really don't
something.
know.
You'd feel something for sure.
I mean, it'd be nice to not have a shooting guard on the roster, so I guess it would clear up that dilemma.
Well, I could play the two.
Yeah, so can Devin and Bradley Beal, and let's just get more shooting guards. I think that's where we need to go.
sign more
As if
Grayson Allen.
Allen and Royce O'Neal and Eric Gordon were enough.
I came across our what was it? It was I think it was our very first Tutu Atwell Award, and Beach gave it to Grayson Allen, and turned out to be a really good take. Surprisingly, I think we kind of ragged you for that one, but it worked out.
Yeah, no, you guys
I
dragged
did drag
me for
you.
it.
I remember you dragging. Or no, never mind. Excuse me. Pause.
It wouldn't have made a difference, but Grayson Allen getting hurt in that series actually made like a huge difference because all of a sudden we didn't have nearly the amount of shooting on the floor, and we lost so much space just because of that simple fact that he wasn't out there. Like I said, it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the series, but he would have been a tremendous help.
Yeah, it showed his importance for sure. So. Over on the
Good for
east
him.
side,
Also, good for him to sign a $70 million deal before the playoffs and then be an absolute no-show because of injury in the playoffs. So he secured his money and said, I'm taking it, and it absolutely worked out for him. So good for Grayson Allen.
yeah, good for him.
Do you? I've always been curious about this. You could 100% do the math. How much do you think that Grayson Allen made per hour in the playoffs?
I have no idea.
Any guesses?
I don't know, 4.5 million per hour.
Well, his contract hadn't kicked in yet, so.
Oh, that's fair. But okay, remove Grayson Allen. If you are a player who was injured, you signed, say, a $20 million a year contract, I'd say that's pretty above average for the NBA. Like, you're just like a decent to above average player. And then you get hurt. Like, or we could use Kawhi as an example. Like, imagine how much Kawhi is getting just to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of coactuses, the housewarming gifts.
Facts.
Over in the east side, 76ers are down 3-2 to the Knicks. It's been a fun series. The Pacers leading the Bucks. The
Pacers have beat the Bucks.
They have? Did they beat them?
They
over.
beat them tonight.
This
They
hasn't updated. All right.
actually whooped them.
Let's
Patrick
go.
Beverly threw a ball at a fan. So again, it continues to be I hate Pat Bev.
I hate Pat Bev. Tyrese
That is
quoted
funny.
Gino. Did you see that?
They didn't write back? Is that what he
That's
said?
hilarious.
I love that.
I can't-
That's awesome.
I can't believe Geno
and-
Smith beat the Milwaukee Bucks.
I can't believe we buried the lead here, but TJ McConnell had 20 points, 9 assists, and 4 steals tonight. That was a plus
bingo.
22. So,
Unfortunately, it's not a bingo. He's just good.
unfortunately, I will make it into a bingo and say that's the Phoenix Suns starting point guard next year.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. To the box.
And it's right out the window. But
See ya.
yeah, currently the 76ers are up by 5 on the Knicks, just a little bit into the third quarter. So that will be interesting to
I
follow.
want that one to go to 7.
Of course you do.
You know what's
So
crazy
does Adam
is
Silver.
Yes.
yeah, he does. Because did you guys see that they ruled that 4-point play a travel?
They
Oh,
did.
wow.
Tyrese Maxey's 4-point play to pretty much extend that game without that.
Scott Foster's reffing, isn't he? He's the series extender.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he is the great extender. But
Except when it comes to Game 4 with the Suns and the Timberwolves.
well, I don't think I think if I was reffing that you guys would have still lost by 15.
Yeah, probably.
You wouldn't have given us any calls, though, so that's...
Yes,
that's
I would've.
fine.
Beach just got in there and made it about himself.
He did.
I did.
He did.
Sorry.
He really did.
Cleveland leads the Magic 3-2, and the Celtics moved on to round 2. I keep seeing these things that like Jason Tatum shot like 4 of 9, and they won by 30, or he shot like 2 of 19 and they won by 20 or something like that. It's been interesting seeing all the Jason Tatum slander on my timeline. I don't know what you guys think about that.
He's carried.
I think Beach is just bitter a little bit right now. Beach doesn't
I'm
want
not,
to talk about
I'm not in a
basketball.
headspace to talk about NBA basketball right now.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's the playoffs for you. It's been not fun for Beach. For the rest of us, it's been some decent basketball played. So, any other thoughts on the NBA playoffs, boys?
Do we want to make
No.
finals predictions or no? I mean, I know Beach doesn't, but to us rational people.
It's still Nugget Celtics.
It feels that
Yep.
way.
Yep.
Cool. We are aligned.
Okay, we're
I love
aligned.
it.
All
Let's
right,
go.
good predictions, guys.
Sales. Well, let's
Sales.
move on.
Stonks.
The NFL draft just happened. Yeah, like I said, a week ago. I want to get your guys' reactions to how your team's drafted.
Better yet, we should show your live reaction to the Chargers taking your favorite franchise player.
Oh, I
We don't
really
need
want
show
to.
that.
This is a family show, though, so we wouldn't be able to.
I was, as it's been well documented on this podcast, I was not in favor of taking a tackle or Joe Alt at 5.
From 6 months ago.
I know, and I
We did.
didn't want it, and it took me a grand total of about 15 minutes to go through the 5 stages of grief.
Isn't it 7?
No, it's for sure
For
5.
Joe, probably.
Yeah, I went through that, and then I came out on the other side thinking we were going to win the Super Bowl because Justin Herbert is now better protected. And to make it even better, we got Ladd McConkey in round 2. I'm pumped on our draft. I think,
Gosh,
dude.
So there are multiple sources saying 5 or 7, so I don't know what to believe.
Well,
what did you say to me?
I don't know.
you're
7
5'7".
sounds more right because you were all of these. So
Yeah, probably. Anyway,
shock, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, testing, and acceptance.
yes, I got to
We went
accept
through that in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, pretty quickly. No, in all seriousness, like it wasn't in the moment. I think I said this. It's like it wasn't necessarily the pick of Joe Alt. It's passing on those receivers at 5, which was brutal. But as we know, hindsight's 2020. I think the combo of Joe Alt and Ladd McConkey is infinitely better than Malik Neighbors or Ramadunze and whoever they would have taken in round 2 that was available. So I'm overall really stoked. I think Joe Alt is one of the better offensive tackle prospects that we've seen in recent years, which is super awesome. Freak athlete. Dude's like 6'9". Donald Parham is now not the tallest guy on the team anymore, and he's a giant. And yeah, getting McConkey, he's going to get in there and be that slot receiver, that safety net for Herbert. Dude's a great athlete, runs a 4.3. Junior Colson in round 3, I think was awesome. I think snagging Cornelius Johnson and Brendan Rice in round 7 was great. Fill out some wide receiver depth. Kimani Vidal in round 6, I think is awesome. Get a little bowling ball receiver or a running back who can catch some passes, really productive. So I'm pumped on the draft, man. Like I said, overall, I got to the point of acceptance quickly because I trust Jim Harbaugh. I know that he knows how to win games. He's going to implement something that's been vastly different than what we've had with Staley and Telesco for a decade, or for the past 3 years with Staley and a decade with Telesco. And I am super stoked on what this season will bring. And we just signed DJ Chark, which I think is awesome. So pumped on the Chargers, man. Let's hear you, Beach. I know you got your Maserati.
I did. I think I was probably the only one. I can't remember if Kyle loved their first round pick or not. Kyle, did you like your first round pick?
I loved it. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of our other friend group that some of them were in shambles, especially one Atlanta Falcons fan.
Shout out Aaron Noller.
Again.
But the Cardinals did exactly what I hoped they would do. They didn't get blown away with the trade offer, and so they stuck at 4 and picked possibly the best overall player in the draft in Marvin Harrison Jr., who not only is the best player available at that point, but he fit exactly what the Cardinals needed. They needed a number 1 wide receiver, somebody that could come in and just be that alpha dog, and it just helped Kyler out, and they got that. So I wanted him since, good gosh, I think the beginning of last year. I was like, I want Marvin Harrison Jr. And so it felt good for that to finally come to fruition and to see that he wanted to be in Arizona as much as the fans really wanted him to be here. And it just kind of set our draft off on the right foot, I think. The rest of their picks, I like the rest of their picks. I like going D-line at the end of the first round with Darius Robinson. And then they picked up Trey Benson and Max Milton from Rutgers as a corner. So the biggest thing I enjoyed coming from an era where the Cardinals continuously wasted first-round picks on non-premium positions, like inside linebacker, safety, some other things like that. They had an entire draft that focused on premium positions and trying to shore up holes as much as they could with their roster. I think it was one of those things that had been severely lacking in the past, and so it was just nice to see Monty Ossenfort again for his second draft just continue to kill it.
Yeah, I love that, man.
What grade would you give the entire draft, Beach?
I'd give it like a A minus. I think there are some picks that you kind of scratch your head a little bit right now. Obviously, you don't know what they're going to turn out like. Like trading down and then kind of missing on Kool-Aid McKinstry, Cooper DeJean, like you're kind of like, well, was that really worth it? There are some other ones too where it kind of just felt like they were reaching for guys. Like they took a guard. They took two players from Illinois that on the surface it kind of looks like they could have been reaches, but when you kind of dig into it a little bit more, I really do like those picks. They just weren't slotted at those particular draft slots, so I can't really say like, oh, that was a phenomenal value. But I mean, at the end of the day, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. You shored up the lines on both sides. You got a running back for the future, and you got some corner and wide receiver depth. I'm all for it.
Yep.
Yeah. Something I've been kind of trying to process and trying to figure out like what my opinion's on. Like I've seen a lot of teams run things differently, but I've seen a lot recently the debate between consensus board versus like reaches. And like the Chargers, their draft was pretty consistent with what the consensus big boards look like by public media. And like some teams had certain reaches. I think the Rams are one team that they just kind of go get their guy, you know?
Yes, sir.
And I think sometimes it works. The Chargers functioned for a lot of years where they would kind of go get the guy that they thought had some talent, and then they would reach for him, and it didn't work for them for a lot of times. I'm like trying to learn, like, okay, what is the value in just kind of sticking with the consensus board? Because I mean, the ability for public media, like there's a lot of knowledge in it, a lot of scouts, things like that actually know what they're talking about, versus like going and taking the guy that you like. So I feel like sometimes it works really well, like the Rams, what they do. And I think other times being consensus, like the Eagles have Howie Roseman is consistently along with the consensus big boards. So I'm fascinated to see like over the next few years, is it better to kind of get your guy or stick with the consensus big boards? So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Kyle, tell us about yours, man. Tell us about how you're feeling about your draft.
Dude, I felt fantastic. It was, I mean, I know that they said it a lot on the drafts, but if you didn't know, it was the Rams' first rounder since Jared Goff, who
I was in high school at that point still.
I was 16 years old at the time. Wow, that's just insane to think about. It's been 8-9 years because
Yep.
Wow. And we did a lot. We had a pretty good 8-9 years.
You have.
Yeah.
You made 2 Super Bowls, won one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We
bunch of winning seasons.
Drafted Cooper Kupp.
Drafted Cooper Kupp, which is arguably better than the Super Bowl.
Puka Nacua?
No, it is not. Puka Nacua? Yes, I feel fantastic about the draft. I think that this draft would have looked a lot different if Aaron Donald was choosing to stay another year. We literally drafted, I think, every D tackle that we could within our range. It was insane. We are literally trying to recreate Aaron Donald in the aggregate, as we will talk about later. The aggregate.
I'm so glad I don't have to deal with him anymore.
I am
now
not.
You got to deal with Jared Verse and Braden Fisk.
Well,
so
this is true.
Which they created Aaron Donald in the aggregate.
Aaron Donald, I'll take my chances with those guys becoming as good as Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald's like one of the top 10 defensive players of all time, it feels like.
I think you guys can check me if you want. I think he's a top 2 defensive player of all time. And I think Lawrence Taylor is the only one that you can make a legitimate argument for being better than him. And obviously I'm insanely biased, so I do have Aaron Donald as my defensive GOAT. But yes, Beach, I think you're 100% correct. There's no way that they're going to replace Aaron Donald. So I think that the defense took a massive hit. I think we realistically would have been contenders for an NFC championship run with Aaron Donald. Without him, I think we're going to be good. We're going to be young, but we're not going to be in the NFC championship, I don't think. I would love that. I don't think it's going to happen. But overall, draft, fantastic. I think we fill a lot of holes. We had, I think, 3 or 4 6-rounders, which is where we've done quite a bit of damage in the last few years. With the Rams drafts, I've pretty much just had no reaction because like I don't know who they're gonna use them to be until we
Yeah.
get to the season, and then Puka Nacua is a top 3 receiver in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna happen the way it's gonna happen, and like the people who I didn't expect to be good will be good. The people that I expected to be good, people that they draft high, the Tutu Atwells usually don't end up working out. So like I think that we're probably gonna hit on a couple of those 6 rounders. I hope, and
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm super
Yeah.
excited.
No, I think you guys had a good draft. I know, like you said, you can never create Donald in the aggregate. You can never
No,
replace
yeah.
anything like that. But I think they did their best to take some of the skills that he had and players that do specialize in certain ways. Because Verse is that power guy, Fisk is that speed. The Rams run a ton of stunts with their defensive linemen, just like Florida State did. I think pairing them back up with a team that runs a lot of defensive line stunts is going to be. I mean, pair them with Kobe Turner. That's going to be a
Yep.
really, really solid pass rush, really good D line. So it's not Aaron Donald, but that defensive line is still powerful. And I do like
Amen, brother.
the Corum pick was viewed as a reach. I think that is a good fit. I think he's a good comp to Kyron Williams. He's just a little bit bigger, just a little bit heavier. Very similar running back. I think giving a 195-pound running back 300 touches again will be a mistake. So I think getting Corum in there will be very good for the football team overall.
Yeah, I agree. That was the one pick where I was just like, really? Like, we take the first running back off the board, but like, in McVay and Snead, I trust.
Yeah.
I think that drafting a Kyron clone was a mistake, but if they like Kyron and he worked and they don't want to run him, like, okay, let's have 2 Kyrons. Sure.
Yeah. I think Corum obviously wasn't getting all the hype because he didn't run a good 40. He's not a freak athlete, but it's like Kyron ran a 4.6. That's one of those things where
like he's not fast.
he's a good running back. He's got that like quick burst right by the line of scrimmage, and then they work. So you guys will be good.
I found 2 things in the deep depths of Rams subreddit. This is just the nerdiest thing ever. This is like near Hendry level. But there are 2 really key aspects that people that are drafting players really look at like heavily that haven't really like panned out. So I don't know why they do, but one is 40 time and 2 is arm length, like wingspan, especially on like defensive players. And the Rams just constantly ignore those. Like Verse and Fisk have like some of the shortest arms of anybody else that was in the same place, and all of their like skill position players like did not run good 40 times. So I'm excited. I think we have a good philosophy. It's going to be kind of electric.
Yeah. Those are Kyle's closing thoughts. Beach, let's get your closing thoughts on your draft.
I'm happy with it. I think the Cardinals shored up, like I said, a lot of holes, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year, but I think they're going to be one of those teams that are competitive the entire year, and you're going to see them take a step forward to where they're knocking on the door. I still think they're probably a true year away from contention, just because I don't think they still have a lot of other issues on that roster. They still are needing guys to step up. But just having Kyler back, hopefully for a full season, getting Marvin Harrison in there, and then shoring up that defense, they're going to be up there in terms of just being competitive the entire year. So
yeah,
I think we're probably looking at about a 7 to 10 win season, somewhere in that realm, just depending on how well things turn out. So
love that. For me, Herb's going to cook. I fully believe it. I think the people that I think we're going to run a million times are wrong. I think that Justin Herbert's going to have a fantastic season, and I'm excited to see that. So, well, boys, you guys ready to draft some movies?
it's time.
It sure is.
All right.
It is time.
We're gonna do a classic snake draft. All right, rolling through all the way. It'll be 5 rounds. Does that sound good? 5 rounds.
Yes, 5 rounds.
All right, we're gonna do 5 rounds here. Best sports movies of all time. We have no idea the strategies walking into this or anything like that. We did a random draft order generator earlier. Kyle got the 101, Beach has the 102, and I have the 103 at the turn. So
go. Beach,
Kyle,
you want to trade picks or no? Are you going to
Kyle's
trade
on
or
the
no?
clock.
I will stick with my pick because I
Whoa.
will still have 5 movies. You're gonna take my favorite movie of all time, and I'm sad about it, but that's okay.
Kyle with the 101.
So honestly, I really wanted to be contrarian here, and just like take something ridiculous. But because Jacob Beach is picking behind me, I have to pick this movie. And so, with the first overall pick in the movie draft, the Los Angeles Rams are selecting Miracle. I think that you can make a case for, a bunch of other different movies. I'd say probably a small 5 to 10 movie list, but I think Miracle is the singular best sports movie because it makes me want to go file my taxes and get a bald eagle tattooed on me. It makes me want to I don't know, it makes me want to go to World War III and just put on for my country. It makes me want to just kick some Soviets in the face. It is so electric. It is the greatest upset in history besides Jesus coming back to life. It's
Stars.
I mean,
Kyle,
would you take the United States hockey team against the Soviets over the 13 colony lead that Great Britain had against us?
That is incredible. Yes. I think that
yes, immediately.
They are equally significant in American culture.
I love it.
They are not.
Beach, what are your thoughts on this pick here, man?
First of all, I'm appalled that you guys didn't let the guy that has a signed poster, well, not poster, but a signed picture by Jim Craig and Micah Ruzioni in his room. I am upset that you guys did not let me take Miracle.
I often
have nothing to do with this.
You could have traded up.
Oh, because I want to still have my plethora of picks. Right. I am like the Cardinals. I am collecting draft assets. But yeah, this would have been this is my consensus number one. I think the only thing that holds it back is that it's a hockey movie. I don't know.
True.
I think people you have to really want to be invested in hockey, but even if you're not, it's still a great movie with a great story.
Yeah, I don't even like hockey. Seriously, this is the only hockey I've ever interacted with in my life.
Kyle really has a vendetta against this movie because I made him watch it so many times.
Dude, I've probably seen this movie with Beach 15 times in my life.
Probably. It's uncanny at this point.
Beach, how many times have you and Carly watched it so far?
Oh, God.
Only once.
Only once, really?
Only once.
That's surprising. That's surprising.
Dude, Beach and
the
I
Olympics are starting in another month, though, so just give it some time.
Beach and I would hang out. We'd be at his house, and he'd sit down on the couch, and he'd be like... and I knew exactly... What do you want to do?
Yeah. Oh, man.
I think Beach and I have probably seen each other for a grand total of... It's probably been less than a month in the past 2 years. In like full time, and I think we've watched Miracle twice in that amount of time.
That's just sickening.
Yeah.
Great heavens.
We quote it all the time, man. It's for sure one of the most quotable sports movies out there, I think.
Yeah. I quote it way too often just because I have memorized the movie script, I think.
But not tonight.
But man, it's such a great movie.
My favorite part of the movie is when Coach Herb goes in there, he's walking out of the locker room and he's like, that'll get him going. And that kills me every single time.
After he just yelled at his players, stop being a candy ass. Yeah,
yep, 100%.
Makes me so happy.
All right. Well, Kyle got Miracle at the 101. Beach, what's your first overall pick? Let's hear it.
The reason I didn't trade my picks is because this movie is right up there for me as well. And Joe knows where I'm going, and Kyle probably does as well. It is Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is probably, in my opinion, the best football movie of all time. It is up there in my movies of all time, best movies of all time. It has everything from the story to just the the way they filmed it. Like, they did such a good job drawing on your emotions. And then also it's a fun story to follow in terms of a high school football team because truthfully, like, that is some of the best sporting events in the country is high school football.
Yeah.
There's nothing like Friday Night Lights. Everybody can relate to it because it's everywhere. Not everybody has experienced beating the undefeated Soviet Union in a hockey game, but pretty much everybody has experienced a Friday Night Football game somewhere where they're at. So it's very relatable in that sense. One of my favorite movies. It's my easy pick here for my first round draft.
Yeah. Wow. Good
that
pick.
Was my one. That's my 101 Beach. So yeah. I like that one a lot. I think you get some great value there.
I do too.
No, fantastic.
Just going to take Surfs Up here at third.
Are we
No,
recording these real quick? I just want to make sure somebody's ready.
Yeah, I got them written. I'm writing them down
Okay,
right
good.
here. Well, I told Kyle earlier that I think there are about. Remember the Titans is my number one. There's 3 movies here that I think are just top tier, and you guys have taken 2 of them. So I get the third one, and I am completely okay with that. I'm taking Moneyball.
Gosh
Wow.
darn it.
I'm taking
Oh,
Moneyball.
I was hoping that would fall.
Come on, you
No,
let's
it
not
wouldn't.
get past me, man.
I
What
know
a
it
reach!
wouldn't.
What do you mean, what a reach?
No, I'm just sad that I didn't get it at 6.
Oh yeah,
I'm sad I didn't get it at 5.
Yeah.
I love Moneyball. I remember in high school when that movie came out, I didn't know what I wanted to do in college, and I watched Moneyball, and I said, "That's what I want to do." So I went to college and studied sports management.
And now we pay your salary.
Hell, you do. I work for a nonprofit. Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
love that movie. It's not at all accurate to history necessarily, but it shows that it changed baseball. And man, just that part where they're talking with all the scouts, and he keeps pointing at Peter, and he's like, "Does Pete really need to be here?" Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
it
We probably
doesn't get
quote
much
that
better
more
than
than
that.
any other movie,
I know.
honestly.
Just creating players
we
in
do.
the aggregate, that has become a consistent part of our language.
Oh, correct.
I love Moneyball, man. Doesn't get much better than that for me.
Does not.
No. So that's my first pick. For my second one, because it is a snake draft, so I get the turn here.
That you do.
There's a pretty big teardrop off after these 3 to me. So this one's a little tough. But I am going to go with one of my personal favorite movies, because if I walk out of this draft without this movie, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself. So I'm going to take The Longest Yard with the Adam Sandler movie.
Ooh.
I'm taking The Longest
I had
Yard
that on my
at
list.
2. That movie's hilarious.
That movie's
All right?
awesome.
The cast is incredible. Beach does the best Brucey impression I've ever seen when he wants to be the quarterback. It makes me laugh every single time. It doesn't get much better than that for sports comedy. Adam Sandler's hilarious. The story is fantastic. It gives you the goosebumps. It's just an absolute comedic movie. I have to take that one here. Maybe it's a little bit of reach, but I'm going to take my guy. I'm going to take The Longest Yard with my second pick.
I like
What a
that.
bozo.
That's a good pick.
That's a great pick.
I'm a fan of that one. Yeah.
Thank you. Beach, let's hear your second one here.
My second one, and I'm taking it because if I don't, I know it's not getting back to me, and that is Coach Carter.
Oh,
And I knew Kyle would be taking that one.
You're a coward.
I knew Kyle would be taking that one. So since
Yep.
he took Miracle from me, I'm taking Coach Carter from him.
Or even.
Again, another. I'm going the high school sports route because everybody can relate to high school sports. But again, it's just another great story. The acting is kind of funny at times, especially the basketball scenes. It's like, this is not realistic basketball, but
Not at all.
man, just some great quotes, some great life lessons. It's a great movie overall. So it's probably like, it might not be in everybody's like top 10 like sports movies of all time, but it's up there for me. So Coach Carter is my number 2 pick.
I love that
Wow.
pick. I can't wait till Kyle takes Facing the Giants right here with his second pick.
Stop.
Kyle is eagerly trying to figure out where he goes now.
No,
you just made him pivot his whole draft.
I'm deciding between The Dark Knight Rises Heinz Ward scene and Twilight Baseball.
I hate you.
Those are good.
So can you read who's off the board, please,
Yeah.
Joe?
Kyle, you took Miracle with your first pick. Beach has
Yep.
Remember the Titans and Coach Carter with cornering the market on high school sports. I have Moneyball and The Longest Yard.
Dang, we got a good set of. Okay, here's my next one. Invincible with Mark Wahlberg.
Wow. I didn't think
round
that was
2?
gonna. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna go that high. I was
take-
saving that for my later drafts.
I have it written down, man, but I did not expect that to go that high either.
Wow.
Dude, it's just such a good movie. Like, it's incredible. It is incredible. Like, for a Disney movie, especially, like, just how, I mean, it's based on a true story. Like, that always makes sports movies way better.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, based on your guys' reaction, you guys probably had this at some point in yours
I
as
did.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
I was definitely considering taking it with my next pick. If you didn't take it there.
it's a great movie. I feel like not a lot of people have seen it too, which is just kind of wild to me. But yeah, it's good movie, great cast, super good story, and it's a true story, which makes it so much better.
Yeah.
That's such a wild. The fact that was a wild story or a true story is wild to me.
Dude, I think what makes it so good, honestly, is the fact that, like, I feel like everybody's related to it at some point and be like, dude, I could do this, and that. Like, I could do this.
Like, if you always hear that guy, like, oh, I could play in the league.
For sure.
Like,
I didn't tear my ACL.
Yeah.
And then
so, like,
like, what?
and so, yeah, it's like, it's so cool to see somebody that actually was like, no, I'm going to go try out for the NFL and make it. Like, that's just so cool.
Yeah, it's gnarly. So I go again, right?
Yep, you got another one.
You go again.
All right. With my next pick, I was stuck between two movies here. But I'm gonna go with it's my draft. I'm gonna go with who I want to pick. Glory Road.
All right.
Yep.
Gosh darn it! Oh, I was heading there next.
Kyle's ruining Beach right now.
Yeah, sorry, Beach.
That's the other great upset movie I wanted.
Dude, that movie rocks. That movie rocks. Which is so interesting too, because the main, like, the head coach, I don't know anybody's name. The head coach usually
John
plays
Haskins.
Yeah,
sure,
John
yeah,
Haskins,
whatever.
Really.
Well, no, like, is that the actor's name?
Oh no, that's not
what
the
I'm
actor's
talking
name.
Oh, I have no idea the actor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know who the actor is. But the actor always plays like a jerk in, like, whatever movie that he's in. But he's just like, he's literally him. Glory Road is like, I mean, I don't know. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a top 3 basketball movie. Like, I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
You're probably right. I can get behind that.
It's so good. Like, but it's another one that not a lot of people have seen. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's literally so good. I want to say who I was between, but it'll probably get picked here. But yeah, those are my two. I feel pretty solid about how the squad's running out.
I like that. I like the Glory Road pick. I like the Glory Road pick for sure.
Yeah, no, that's oh man, again, that's another.
I knew Beach was going to take it too.
Yeah, I definitely, that was on my list. So now I am thinking of where I want to pivot to next. And I think where I'm going to pivot to is I'm going to take a comedy that's just absolutely hilarious, even still to this day.
No.
And that would be Caddyshack.
Man, I was nervous.
Okay.
Caddyshack might be a bit of a reach, but my goodness. First of all, we're all addicted to golf now. Second of all, it's just a hilarious movie. And it still stands the test of time, even though it is, I don't even know how old it is now, but such a great movie. So that gets my number 3 pick.
Do you have that over Happy Gilmore then in golf movies?
Happy Gilmore's up there, but yeah, I have Caddyshack.
Did Kyle just reveal his hand? Do I have to take?
I did not. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
All right, Beach, you got Caddyshack. I have to make a choice here now.
That you do.
I think with my man, there's some good ones here. I got the turn, so I get 2 picks here, which pumps me up.
You do.
I have 3 movies though, and I think
hate being the second pick. Can I just point that out?
Yeah, you got ruined a little bit.
There's one that I think will get back to me, so I'm going to take the other 2 because I'm not convinced that they will. With my 3rd pick, I'm going to take the 3rd best basketball movie of all time, and that's Space Jam.
Wow, good pick.
I'm taking Space Jam.
You like Space Jam?
I do love
the LeBron
Space
version,
Jam.
right?
No, you idiot. Why would I do that? Do Space Jam. Great movie. Not really, but great movie. Like, every dude that loves sports loves Space Jam. I mean, the arm stretching part nothing beats that. The Monstars watching, it's incredible. Seeing Michael Jordan next to Bugs Bunny and Lola Bunny, nothing really gets better than any of that. So I'm taking
Lola
Space
Bunny was my
Jam.
first crush too.
I mean, everybody, dude. Like she
Dude,
was
she's so
fantastic.
bad. She's so bad.
Yeah, where's Jordan? We need to tell her that.
Dude, I've told her to her face.
With my fourth pick, I'm gonna take this one because I'm not convinced it gets back to me. I'm gonna take We Are Marshall. I'm gonna tug on the emotional. Yeah, I'm gonna tug on the emotions right there. My TikTok is full of We Are Marshall clips right now.
Of course it is.
Not Robert Downey Jr. What the heck? Matthew McConaughey.
What is wrong with
Matthew
you?
McConaughey. I don't know. He does a great job in that movie. I think Anthony Mackie was fantastic. It just like that whole story is unbelievable, and the fact that they were able to field a football team that season and get that program back off the floor so quickly to the point to where they're a respectable football program nowadays outside of that Power Five. So they've had some really good players go through there. Obviously, Randy Moss has gone through there. I think it was Raheem Boyd was a quarterback there for a while. He was fantastic. So they've had some great players there, man. Super good movie. Really hits you hard at the beginning and just makes you feel good. Gives you the warm fuzzies. So love me some We Are Marshall.
Wow.
So back to Beach though.
Back to Beach. I think I am in the market for a baseball movie.
Uh-oh.
And I'm in between a few. There's a few that I feel like I could take here.
Yeah, there are.
And I think for my intents and purposes, I think I'm going to be taking Field of Dreams.
Oh, wow. That's not where I thought you were going to go.
Where did you think I was? I don't know if you want to say, but where did you think
I'm fine.
Go?
I thought you were going to go Sandlot.
I do like Sandlot. Sandlot, it's just it hasn't clicked in my mind like the way some of the other baseball movies have.
That's fair.
I really like Sandlot. That might be a hot take. I just thought it was like whatever.
Yeah. Sandlot feels like whatever. And I already took Caddyshack, which is kind of along the same lines of funny, kind of, weird type of thing like that. So, but with Field of Dreams, I mean, who doesn't want to build a baseball field in their backyard and have baseball players of all time walking through it? It's a crazy concept that they really pulled off. And then now to see what it's kind of turned into with like the Major League Field of Dreams game and playing like in the middle of Iowa, like it's pretty cool to see how that's kind of evolved. So it kind of plays on that fairy tale sports movie, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah, I would love to visit that field when they go to a game there, man. That would be so much
fun.
Man, that's a good pick. And now that I think about it more, I think Field of Dreams is probably the right pick over the Sandlot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on to Kyle. Kyle, you got your final two picks here. Better make them count.
Dude, this is so tough. I have like 14 movies that I'm deciding between, honestly. I'm going to go with a comedy first. This might be the one that Joe was thinking of. Dodgeball.
I was not thinking about that. I didn't even have that on my list, to be honest with you. Good movie.
Yeah, that's not on my list either.
Dodgeball's a fantastic movie. Very, very quotable. Still technically a sports movie. It gave us the gift of ESPN The Ocho. Like, without that movie, we don't have that. Like, it's very, very good movie. I think it's just a classic. Like, you can't really go wrong. And with my next pick, I'm going to go with a newer one because this is my draft, right? I can do whatever I want.
You do what you want. You are Les Snead.
I am Les Snead. And I'm going to get my guy, and my guy is Air, the Michael Jordan movie.
I was thinking about that one for 5, man. That movie was awesome.
Rocks. Dude, that movie was it's like not even one of the best sports movies I've ever seen. It's like one of the best movies ever. It's almost like business. Like if you like The Big Short, like it's like you'd like this movie. It's such a fantastic movie. And it's like technically it's not even really sports. Like you don't even really hear from MJ in the movie, but it's just like it's a fantastic movie.
Which I think added to the whole thing. Like if they added MJ in it, then it would have just changed the whole complexion of the movie. I loved Air. Great pick. That was on my short list for sure.
Thank you.
Steal at 5.
Good pick.
Yeah. Thank you.
On to Beach, your final pick.
To close it out, I am also going to go to a newer player. in the market. One that also piqued my interest, and that would be Hustle.
Wow.
The Adam Sandler basketball movie.
I like it.
With my current nemesis Anthony Edwards acting in it. But just the way it was so cool to see a movie kind of about, and I know it was fictional, but the way scouting basketball looks, and how it is like these guys go and find these guys in these countries like this where, I know it's not as weird as it made it look, where they find him at this random, park, but like you've heard stories of that where you're seeing a guy like a Boban Marjanovic working out in a gym and some guy saying that he's 18 and he's 28. Like it was such a cool way that they filmed that movie. And then obviously Adam Sandler's hilarious. There's some great, dialogue with that. But then just the way too, they played up the rivalry with Bo Cruz and his name was Kermit. Yep. And so that was cool. The ending scene where they're all playing, in this NBA like elite run with all these draft picks and NBA stars, like that was just such a cool scene. So yeah, definitely it was one of my newer favorites as well. So that makes my list.
Was that the last pick of the draft?
That was no.
Joe
I
has one more pick.
I got one more here. I'll roll through some of my because I know what I'm going to take, but I'm going to roll through some of like the honorable mentions that I had, and then we can talk about other ones. But different movies that I had in the running here. I don't know if you guys ever seen Warrior with Tom Hardy. That
Great
one
movie.
is one of the most underrated sports movies I've ever seen. The end fight with him and his brother, fantastic. Rookie of the Year is another really good one, as well as the
Rookies. And I was going to say the Rookies on my list.
Both of those are great. 42 was on my short list.
Great movie.
I had Cars on here as well. I don't know if that would have been able to pass, but I thought that was awesome. And then Cool Runnings was potentially. But I'm gonna roll with the Mighty Ducks 2.
Wow.
The Olympic version.
Another hockey movie. Yeah,
what
I'm
a
roll with
pick.
the second one. The first one was great, but that Mighty Ducks 2 movie, where they bring in the extra players, and it was so good. I watched that movie over and over and over again as a kid on VHS. It was so much fun. I'm never gonna forget that one for sure. I like when you talk about the Mighty Ducks, that's where my mind goes. Is the second one, and that's the one I'm gonna go watch.
Yeah,
so
that's such a good one. I do love the Mighty Ducks franchise, and the second one too, in my opinion, was my favorite one as well.
Yeah,
even though the first is a classic.
I had one honorable mention as well.
Let's hear it.
That I almost put it in here at the end. I can't believe you didn't even say this in yours, Joe, but Draft Day.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I was going to say, did Draft Day just go undrafted?
It did go undrafted. You're right. I wouldn't have had it in my top 5. I love Draft Day, but it wouldn't have been in my top 5.
Yeah, it didn't make mine either. Like, it's not even. It was like it was pretty clear that it was like kind of a low budget movie. Like they didn't. Yeah. It's not going to like blow your socks off or anything, but it was just like fun.
Yeah.
Fun to like be in the shoes of a NFL GM for like an hour and a half. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Kyle, I'm surprised you didn't consider American Underdog.
It's a good movie. It is a really good movie, but I don't have that in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah. That's fair. I also was thinking, I had the Game Plan written down here. That was like one of those classics as a kid where it's like, that was just hilarious. And I also had Rudy, and then Rocky 4 was also on my list.
You guys ever seen The Replacements?
Yep.
I've never seen it, but I've heard that's a good one.
I was going to say the Creed movies as well. There have been some really good Creed movies, and they don't sneak into my top 5, but they're up there as well.
I think the second one's the best one.
Yeah, dude, those are. And here's some lists, man. I'll roll through these lists here so we can get an idea of what we have. So, Kyle, you have Miracle, Invincible, Glory Road, Dodgeball, and Air. Beach, you finished up with Remember the Titans, Coach Carter, Caddyshack, Field of Dreams, and Hustle. I ended up with Moneyball, The Longest Yard, Space Jam, We Are Marshall, and The Mighty Ducks 2. Those are some pretty great lists, man.
Who wins? Do we vote?
I mean, I don't like. I'm biased towards myself, obviously. So I don't know, like, if anybody else is going to vote for anybody else. To be honest.
Well, okay. Well, you can't vote for yourself.
I'm going to be honest. Okay. I hate Joe's list. I don't hate Joe's list, but Joe's list is my least favorite.
If I had to choose one, Beach, it'd probably be Caddyshack. No, I might have. That one's tough.
I'm picking
Kyle,
Beach.
give us your thoughts.
I think that my list is the best unbiased. I do. Obviously, we're all going to say that. Joe,
If I had to, sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead, Beach.
I was gonna say if I was picking, I would pick Kyle's list. Just because Miracle's my number one, and then the other movies you picked, I also thoroughly enjoy.
I feel like I didn't miss.
The only one you lost me. What was your fourth one?
Dodgeball.
Yeah, Dodgeball. You kind of lost me at that one. I'm not as high on Dodgeball, but the other four were phenomenal.
Yeah,
I almost picked Talladega Nights there instead of Dodgeball.
It would have been a good one.
You would have had me, I think, if you picked Talladega Nights.
You see, this voting thing doesn't work because I think my vote would go to Beach. So then we're just back where we started when everybody got one, right?
No, we're not.
Oh, no, Beach, then that means you win.
Beach would win.
Kyle would have taken you.
Let's go. I'm the winner.
Even though I didn't really like Caddyshack, I just like your 5 better than... Like, I think your top 2 carried you here.
Yeah, they did. Remember the Titans and Coach Carter for sure.
Just unbeatable.
Remember the Titans is what carried me. I also love Field of Dreams. Like, it was like Remember the Titans and Field of Dreams were his top 2 for me. Miracle and Air. And it's like, to me, Beach just outweighed a little bit extra there.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like it's so hard nowadays to make good sports movies because, like, what are the new good ideas for good sports movies like in the future?
Yeah, it's
probably the Tutu Atwell movie.
I feel like it's sports movies. I feel like they should lean into like what we've seen with all of these is they need to lean into like the events that have happened and then put it into it's still a nonfiction movie, but display it in a fictional way.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Moneyball is just like the best.
Yeah. Moneyball, Miracle, Remember the Titans, all of those things, like all of those movies, like happened. Like those were real life things that happened.
Yeah.
Coach Carter, Invincible, like these are all sporting events that took place. Yeah, draft day, but at the same time, like they put a fictional spin on it to make it enjoyable to watch. Like you weren't just watching a documentary. So
yeah, that makes sense for sure.
I think that's what they've got to lean into. And there's always going to be more sporting events going on and things that are happening.
Can I get a takeoff? May I?
No.
I think so. This was just movies, obviously. I think that The Last Dance, that Michael Jordan show, is a top 3 sports film production.
Yes.
I think that the way that they did that was fantastic. Like it was, it made you want to keep watching even though you knew what was going to happen. Like the footage that they had was sick. Like I think that if
I feel like
go ahead.
I was gonna say like that's kind of the 2 avenues. You either got like you can go through like the historical route and go into like the make it like a fictional movie, or you can go straight documentary style, 30 for 30 with like unseen footage, unseen clips, and just like really get people to relive those moments that they were in.
Dude,
like,
that's what they did with the Redeem Team. Like that's why people like that one too.
I was going to say that one's great. There's a lot of them on Netflix that I watch that even if I don't know the story, like it's so cool to see them go back and just start reliving kind of what was going on at that point. So I think those are the avenues that they've got to follow.
Yeah. Did you guys watch The Iron Claw?
No,
it's on my list.
New movie. But... Yeah, I'm just curious because I heard that was a really good one. It's a newer sports movie.
Was that the wrestling one?
Yeah, is it with Zac Efron?
I think that was.
Yeah, so that one's good. And then I didn't put it on here because it's not a movie, but there is a movie, but Friday Night Lights, particularly the show.
Great show.
That is one of the best shows I've ever watched in my life. 100%. I would have taken it, but it's the movies was the criteria, so I stuck with that. Friday Night Lights is like I watched that and I thought it was incredible, so I'll plug that. And did you guys ever watch the Greatest Game Ever Played?
Oh, I have.
Movie with Shia LaBeouf.
I can't.
Yeah, the golf one. Yeah, that was a good one as well.
That was like one of the first movies I ever watched in theaters.
You guys ever seen The Legend of Bagger Vance?
No.
Dude, that's a great golf movie with Will Smith and Matt Damon. Fantastic
Legend
golf
of
movie.
Bagger Vance?
Yeah. I know that most people haven't seen it, but it's seriously one of the better golf movies, I think. There's not a lot of golf movies, I guess, but
yeah. Kind of hard to make a good one, I feel. But
The Tiger documentary is going to hit like crack.
That is
like absolutely. Well, isn't there one on HBO already that kind of sucked?
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah, that one was just mid. I need one that went more like
let's get
into
Netflix
his
on
like in the tour career.
They didn't talk about his peak enough.
Yeah, I don't care about the off the course stuff. Like
Facts.
Whatever, dude. Like, yeah, you cheated on your wife and then you ran your car into a pole. Like, whatever. I'm not here for that.
It was a tree.
Yeah, I'm here for you smacking a white ball around better than anybody else ever has. That's what I'm here for.
Put up the picture of all of the guys with his face in there. That's what you
no, because
like
I'm talking about Tiger Woods. That's crazy.
Yeah, okay, dude.
Yeah, Joe, you're hating.
That was a total stick to your sports statement right there, man.
Beach just said shut up and dribble.
Oh, that was good. Well, do you guys?
Everybody makes mistakes, man. We don't need to dwell on
this
them.
Is true, and the Lord.
Not everybody wins Masters tournaments. That's what we need to be dwelling on.
Oh no!
Man, you guys got anything else?
I was going to say this right here is why people get away with things in college because of people like Beach that are the athletic director.
Oh my gosh!
That's why we have compliance directors.
Beach is
shout out to Title IX,
man. You fellas got anything else?
Go Rams!
No.
All right. Well, this was fun. We'll do some more drafts here soon. We enjoyed doing this, so we'll have some fun ones coming up. But that's all we have for you guys today, though. Kyle is rising in his seat. You can find more of that on X, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at That's Bingo Pod. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.